Hello and welcome everybody, this is Wayne's Tech Specs, where communication is king. If anyone disagrees with what I say today, they can go ahead and visit our Facebook and rant about it, or tweet about it, or if it's a really extensive rant, go ahead and send me an email. The links to those things will be in the description. Please follow us on Twitter and like our page on Facebook. Since we don't have all the money in the world to spend, we're powered off of the community. So please go ahead and do that today.
Number one.
Alright, so to kick this off, let's go with the subject of Nvidia versus AMD. There are a lot of fanboys out there for both of these companies, however, when it comes down to graphics cards, it doesn't matter which company you buy from. Now let me explain what I just said. Nvidia and AMD don't even actually make the cards. They have card manufacturers for that. Really what the two companies decide is build quality and design structure. So really, for all you gamers out there, just research and pick a card. Now, there are some games Nvidia will run better on, and some AMD will run better on. Really, the only big major difference between them is the preference of features. If you want an amazing card with advanced PhysX and G-Sync, then go with Nvidia. If you want a card with amazing audio and multiple display scaling, then go with AMD. For a basic summary of these components, on Nvidia's side, Advanced PhysX is an add-on to PhysX, allowing the developer to harness the power of the graphics card in order to create high-density particles and clean, smooth physical effects. G-Sync is a capability in some monitors that links the Nvidia graphics card to the monitor. Now with standard V-Sync or vertical sync, the card is limited to the draw time or refreshing of the screen, which leaves higher frame rates to be chopped down. However, with G-Sync, no matter what refresh rate your card is pushing, the graphics card will keep itself from drawing extra frames. This leaves a buttery smooth picture even at lower frame rates. I also find Nvidia CUDA to be the best solution for rendering for developers. Now let's hear AMD's side of the story. Busting out at amazing performance and an astounding price point comes AMD HD graphics. AMD True Audio gives a phenomenal advantage to those who rely on graphics and audio for immersion. This graphics option transforms stereo into a 3D environment, allowing you to hear what direction those footsteps are coming from. Moving on, AMD cards tend to have more onboard video RAM, and that means an astounding history of multi-monitor setups. The rest is up to you. I'll post some articles for you guys to look at in choosing which graphics processor is right for you.
Number two.
Alrighty, speaking of AMD, they also have a line of processors. This line has always been on and off for a long time. Is it good or is it bad? Well, today I want to answer the age-old question of AMD versus Intel. To start off the argument, first we need to understand the classes of processors. The first is the low end. This is used for basic computation. An average user won't even need a processor upgrade since modern computers will carry enough for what they need most, if not all the time. Mid-range processors is where gaming is involved. These processors are engineered for gaming and streaming, with the top end being AMD FX and Intel Core i7s. Then you get into the big boys. High-range CPUs run between $1,000 or $2. With Intel Xeon or AMD Opteron, nobody cares which is better because they're both beast. For those who fit in low and high-end category range, you can go ahead and skip to the next topic. And while I'm on the subject, if you fit under the low end of the spectrum, your Xbox One is under that definition. Go buy yourself a real PC. Now when it comes down to it, all processors do about the same thing, but there are some that do certain things better. If you are a low-end gamer that just wants to play on casual settings, get the AMD Phenom 2 965 Black Edition. It is a low-priced 3.4 GHz quad-core beast that I use personally. For dedicated streaming during medium to high intensity gameplay, such as on Ultra for Battlefield 3 or Skyrim, go for the AMD FX 8350, which sports 8 cores and 4 GHz of pure awesome. Now, for you enthusiasts out there who want to go all the way, the Intel Core i7 4770K is the one for you. Now, which is better, AMD or Intel? Well, that's a cheap question. AMD is far better at medium and high-end computations, and Intel is absolutely the king of enthusiast-grade computing. In conclusion, AMD is cheap and fast, and Intel is quality and faster.
Number three.
Now about this Google versus the NSA thing, let me be absolutely clear in all of this. Your data is not unwatched. Google may be encrypting this data, but the simple fact is the NSA isn't actually spying on you more than Google itself is. Is this wrong? No, well it isn't for Google at least. It is wrong for the government to be in our business, but let me give you an example of why it's not wrong for Google. Say you go over to a friend's house and ask to play on his X-Station V, and he says, sure, go ahead. Then you both come into the living room and he watches you play the game. At what point do you look at the friend and tell him to stop watching? The thing is that it's his game and his system. You're taking his service and using his resources. He should be allowed to watch. People shouldn't be worried about spies anyway, since they don't put anything super secretive or private over the internet. Right? So in conclusion, although I don't agree with the NSA and I'm all for Google encrypting our data, don't ever post something on the internet that you would regret if it was seen by someone you weren't intending to see it. I mean, gosh, people, this is common sense. Thank you so much for joining me in my weekly rant about crap that's happening. Be sure to check out the links in the description. Be sure to subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and like our page on Facebook. Remember, since we are powered by you, we need your opinion too. If you disagree with anything, go ahead and send me them disagreements. If you want to show support, then share this video and retweet it amongst your friends. Check out my favorite tech gurus in the description, and be sure to comment that Wayne's Tech Spec sent you. Want to be part of the next video? Send me them tweets with articles attached during the week, and the ones that I find with the most compelling articles, I will give you a mention, speak on the article, and add you to our list of sources. As a wise man once told me, shut up and do your homework!